If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon to get the latest updates.
Okay. So yesterday our last PPT was on material master. So what I think is that I'm just sharing my screen. So this material master we have done the slide. This what I find in the master data, there are two more topics. One is the bill of material and one is the work center. But they have not given anything regarding production version or routing master recipe. So we'll just go to the system and discuss those things, and I'll share some materials whichever is available with me regarding these three master data. Now since we have done material master and if I go back and go to the assessment exercises, there are some labs. So on the material master, if you go to the lab, you will find that suddenly there is one lab or some practical session on the system, that is apply lead time scheduling and material master update. So this is basically a routing functionality where we do the scheduling for a routing, and then we see whether the lot size dependent times are updated in the material master. So we can do this exercise, but that is suddenly has come up. And then there is another assessment that I can see. There is classify material master records. Just the classification. These two things they have given, but let us do one thing. So that is the problem that I'm facing. Suppose I ask you, everyone knows. No? Suppose I ask you, let us go through the transactions. I thought that if I'll just create, is it very basic, like creating a raw material, finished good, and semi-finished good. That way we'll go. You will create, or what we'll do. Let us create one, then make changes, then extension of views, create a new material type, all these things. So should I show in the system, or you will be doing it? Say, for example, first step, we can create a material type. So is everybody aware of how to create the material type, a new material type?
Hi Deepak, can you please show us?
I can show always, but it is expected that after working for so long, it is already known to you. I can show you. So I was just thinking that whether this is basically eating into our time, and we'll take on specific topics. Anyway, let me create a material type. So how do we do it? There's a direct transaction OMS2 in configuration by which we can create a material type. If we go to we were discussing material type yesterday, what are the influences that it has? Suppose we select the standard FERT material type. In the details, what are the things that are there? Field reference, that talks about the fields which are available in the material master, and this field reference has certain screen groups. These screen groups, each screen group and screen number has some fields which we can maintain. I mean, the attribute of the fields like display or say ready for input, or we can hide the field. These things we can do with this field reference. Normally this is not done. I mean, mostly we are not changing any field, but sometimes it may be necessary depending on the customer requirement. The views that we select here will be available for creation or change in default. So if certain views are not selected, like in this case the PRT view is not selected, that means um, these views will not be available. This view, production resource tool, all other views, production related view like work scheduling and the MRP, the one tab for work scheduling and 4 MRP tabs, 1 to 4, 2 accounting tabs. Then there is a classification data, costing 1 and 2 for cost estimate run and maintaining the costing parameters for doing the run. Then the basic data 1 and 2, storage 1, 2, storage location, plant data for storage. Then quality management view for assigning the inspection related data, inspection type and other controlling parameters for quality inspection. Warehouse management 1 and 2, sales 3 views, and plant stock, storage location. So these are the views that will come up. So if I just to normal practice is that, and another point, that is for this material type we have to mention the quantity and value updation in the valuation area. Normally, what is the valuation area for materials?
It's a plant, right?
It's plant.
Valuation area.
It can be company code, it can be plant, but mainly it is plant. So valuation area is defined as plant. So in the each valuation area, depending on the material type, we can just for let us say for this finished goods, for all valuation areas, we can see that both quantity and value updation happens. If we go to another material type, let us say in lag, non-stock item, or in BW, non-valuated. In lag. So here, value and quantity updation is not there, because this is a non-stock material. So value and quantity updation fields are not ticked. So suppose we have to create a new material type. So standard procedure is we just copy the standard and then make necessary changes, whatever we want to change. So if we have to create a new material type, we will select this one and then copy as. Suppose this is we change the name to and maybe this will not normally all these views are required for finished goods, but let me also select the production resource tool view, and these are the number ranges. A material can have both external as well as internal numbering. So when we did in ECC 6 this thing, there is this new field in S4HANA, that is the product type group. This gets copied into your purchase order or purchase requisition. It is basically for service materials, service items. I mean, if we indicate, if you go to the drop down of this one, if we select service, then it will be treated as a service material. Means basically it is a service. Instead of creating a service master, it will be treated with a material master. And this indicator is copied into your purchase requisition or purchase order for procurement of external service. There are no other changes in S4HANA from the ECC screen here. So
Deepak, I have a question. Like you said, this product type group, that this is generally used for the service material types, right?
Normally, there are 4 settings here.
Uh-huh.
So basically it is blank. So that
Uh-huh.
means it will be treated as a material. If we put
Okay.
1, it will be treated as a material. 2 for service. 3, I don't know what subscription is. I have tested with service and material. Maybe, I mean, for material, you do not need to maintain 1 additionally. But I have seen the treatment with 2. So that is changes.
Okay,
And
so
that is your
like
question.
you mentioned, it as services, like the material master. So in standard, the Dyn material type will be containing two as a product type group in S/4HANA. Dyn
DN
is
type
serv.
of material which is there in standard, that will have
Uh-huh.
a value 2.
Yeah.
Let us put that. So dependent entries means all the entries that we had for I mean this screen sequence or views and value and quantity updation in different valuation areas, all are copied.
Mhm. Okay.
Hi, Deepak. Is there any specific syntax for S/4HANA?
There is no syntax for S4HANA. Actually, the syntax depends on the this nomenclature of syntax. That depends on as earlier. It depends on how we set up with the basis. I mean, basis consultants and the clients nomenclature or the that is how it is decided. I mean, in different clients, the syntax or nomenclature are different, obviously. I mean, it will depend on how they want to maintain this. It should be having a meaningful thing, and this precedence, like this MR is maintenance request. That is what I have put here. See, in one client, it can be MR, it can be some other area-based thing, module-based thing, or some other nomenclature. That is decided at client discussion and with the basis consultants. So that is how a new material type is created. So going back to the question of DN material type, let's go once more to it and see what is there, whether 2 is selected for DN. So if we go here, it is not there. So in standard, this product type group is not there for DN. But let me see, there is a new service material, a CRV, I think, new material type in HANA. Is it there? Yeah. So in this is a service product. So here you have a product type group of 2. We can have a cycle run with this type of material and see what is the effect of this. This creates a lot of problem, that I can tell. But we can take one cycle with this one. I'm just noting down the cycles that will run subsequently with this. So now we have created a material type for finished product. Similarly, we can create material type for other mainly HALV and raw and operating supplies for production. So this is how the material type is created. No other settings related to the material master from production planning point of view is necessary unless we want to suppress or certain fields. For that, lot of configurations are necessary, because that if we work with a standard screen sequence and try to modify that, so all material types which are using that screen sequence will get affected. So that is why, again, a new screen sequence, new screen, you know that all these screens, how these screens are appearing. I mean, that is appearing because define structure of data screen for each screen sequence. Here the standard screen sequences and standard structures are there. So mostly we are using standard industry sequence. This one. And data screens within this one are this. So under each one, say for basic data, we have the subscreens. Each subscreen has a program. So there are certain, screens which we have to bring in. We have to look at the documents and find out which program, screen program we have to add here. In that case, that particular screen with the field will come. If you select any and go to view subscreen, then you can see this is the description screen. Means that this program this program is for the description and the screen number is this. This is the basic data screen, like work scheduling. If you go to the sub screen, a full screen will come like this, and individual there are so many programs under work scheduling. So each section, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections are there. So each section you can select and see. What I mean to say is that there are certain fields which we can suppress or make mandatory, those things. So those are controlled in the this one here. Have you done that ever, anyone? Suppose, see, if we go back to MS2, we have a screen reference. This is the field reference, and material type screen reference is ROH. So for ROH, this is our reference material type, and for for material type FERT, our screen reference is raw, that is assigned in the material type. So we assign the screen reference to the material type. Now, how the screen sequence control, if I go back to the first step, how the screen reference, this industry sequence 21, 14, 15, these are the standard in the sequences. So create program for customized subscreen, this is one. And there is another setting that is done, I'm forgetting that setting, where we go to individual programs or the screens or subscreens, and there we'll have the field list which we can make as mandatory or visible or not visible. Are you aware of that? OMS What is that transaction?
I think it's in the field selection. If you just scroll down.
S9. What is that one? Yeah, here. So this is the field selection for data screens. Here you will enter the field selection group, and we can get the details of the fields. For field reference APRT, like for APRT it was, and what are the fields? If you click on this one, you will find that these fields, that is base unit of measure or unit of measurement. So these fields we can make as display or required or optional or hide here. Problem is that suppose this has two fields, unit of measurement text and base unit of measure. So individually we cannot do, isn't it? So for that again everything has to be recreated. So if I just do a hide here, then both the fields will be hidden. Like in this, we have five fields: material group, name, plant name, no text. This one. If we want to hide the material group, then we go here and hide it. If we hide it here for this field reference, so wherever this field reference is assigned to the material type, those fields will be hidden. So there are five fields. All five fields will be hidden. But how we hide a single field here? So in that case, we have to create a new field reference by copying this one and removing those fields which are not, which we do not want to hide, and keep only one field, and then set these attributes. Now, can we quickly create three materials? I mean, will you be able to create one finished good, one semi-finished good, and one raw material quickly with the standard material types? Or I'll do it. Hello? Let me do it. Let me create a finished good. Let me see a good FG. So we'll go to this transaction, you know this, MM60. Let's take this one, FG129. So we will quickly create a material master record by copying from an existing material. So the views that I am selecting, you see that PRT view is not here because it was not selected for this material type in the material type configuration. So all views will select except these purchase we are not doing for the finished good. Sometimes we do for stock transfer or procurement from alternative plant or subcontracting we do. But quality management, let it be there. WM I am not creating. So I have to put the organization level here. I copy from the same while creating the material master, we can enter an MRP profile. I mean, all data from the, we can create MRP, we can maintain MRP related data in a profile, and that gets copied into this material master. Let me see if anything is there. Nothing is there. So we'll create one MRP profile later on. Just go on selecting it. So everything is getting copied, including the batch number. Batch. So classification. I'll delete this class. So all these views are getting created, copying from the standard finished good which is there in the system. Purchasing views we are not creating. Strategy group is 10. So I am changing it to 10. 40 to 10. So if it is 10, then there is no conjunction, right? No conjunction is not there. We'll revisit these views when we do the planning strategy or MRP and demand management. This is the advanced planning tab. So we talked about the advanced planning tab for PPDS integration, but production version is not there because we have not yet created the BOM and routing for this material. So we have to create a production version, which is mandatory in S4HANA. This is the advanced planning tab. So basically, it when we set this up, we'll see one advanced planning session. We will indicate this checkbox and do the settings in the advanced planning configurations for transfer of this material, work center, location, plant to PPDS site. Then we will be transferring. This will be created automatically. We cannot create these things in embedded S4HANA in the PPDS site. So this will be created as product, resource, and location respectively. For that, this advanced planning indicator has to be selected. And here, in our MRP run in S4HANA side, on PPDS side, we can do this planning run using the planning heuristics. We can maintain the heuristics here, planning heuristics. And we can do the planning run on the PPDS side. So there is one session for that. We'll maintain these things and do. Normally, number 2 is assigned. Let's see. This one. These parameters we'll discuss on that day. since this is your finished good, so we can assign both 03 and 04 inspection types for in-process inspection, and 04 is for finished goods inspection, that is the final inspection, and it has to be made active. Price control is S for this material type, which is a standard price. This is getting copied from the the material which we are copying. The valuation class is 7920 for account determination. In S4HANA, I think we'll run into problem. Material ledger is mandatory, right? So since the earlier material we are copied from, so material ledger is active. So there are 3 programs we run for this cost estimate for activating and making the material ledger run as productive. So these are already there set up. So that is why this indicator checkbox material active, material ledger active is indicated. Otherwise, it will come as a blank. So we have to run those programs. Let me see.
Deepak, one question. The material, as you're saying, it is mandatory in the S4 HANA. So even it is,
Material ledger.
it's not, it's if it is not applicable at, you can say company level or the plant level, so still it is mandatory.
It is mandatory. You have to make
Okay.
material ledger and actual costing mandatory in S4HANA. Even if a company does not do actual costing, then this is one of the pre-checks we must do when we are migrating to S4HANA.
Okay.
It has to be made productive. Otherwise, you cannot work with the material.
In S4 HANA. Okay.
2 things, boss. One is the production version. Without that, production process will not run. This material ledger activation must be done. These are few things. I was going through that simplification list yesterday. I'll share that. You will see that there are simplification items in which certain things are mandatory. We'll find some other day and try to discuss those things also. You see that there is a current standard cost estimate. This is basically copied from the material I am copying from. Otherwise, you have to do a cost estimate run, for which the BOM routing production version has to be set up first. Then this CK40N, same procedure as in ECC6 will follow. So that's all. Then we save this material. The material number 2255. When we are copying from an existing material type, the number ranges are also copied. So this is our material. I have created a finished good. Same way, can you please create a semi-finished good and a raw material quickly so that we can just create a BOM? But one thing before that, let us do 1 or 2 transactions. What is the suppose we want to extend this material view. I mean, almost all views are created, but I think the purchasing view was not created. Let us try this MM50, by which we extend the material view. So our material number, what was the material number? 2255. No? And if we want to, we have to select the maintenance status, which view we are extending to. Purchasing, we say, because purchasing is selected and could have been created, but we deselected, did not create. Later on, if we want to just select the, create the views or extend the views later on, then we can select the view, we want to extend to, and then we can put the plant, because this material could be available in other plants also. We execute. So it comes as E. This is the view we are just trying to extend. Now you go to click on maintain material. So this purchasing appears. You just save it. So now if you go back to your material, you will see that the purchasing view, which we did not create earlier, can be as created, and now it will appear in MM02. So this is one transaction. The other one is through MM01 also. You can just select the views. It will come as deselected, the views that were not created. So if you go here now, you will see the purchasing view are existing now. Which view is still not created? Let us say the warehouse management view. So with MM01 also we can do. The view that is not created, say for example, work scheduling, warehouse management. So we'll put a plant here. So when we are creating the warehouse management view, we have to put the warehouse numbers here. And the storage type under the warehouse number. Let's say high rack storage. So same effect as MM50. So this way also you can create the views. Extend the views. So basically, other transactions that were mentioned are MM17 for mass changes in material master. So if you do MM17, we can change certain fields. For that, we have to select the material. So let us say that which field, if we want to change any of the data which is plant dependent, so we'll select this MARC table, mark table, and we can go to the field tab where we'll find all the plant dependent fields. So let us say that we'll change the production scheduler profile, or plant dependent any other field, maybe MRP group. Say we'll change the purchasing group. So we select this. When we execute, first we have to enter the material for which we are changing. Let us say in our case, our material, and since this is a mass change, let us select another material. Say that FG, what was that from which we copied FG? What's that material? FG 129. And plant is 1710. Now you execute. So the field that we have selected is purchasing group. So basically we see that in our these materials which we have included here, it does not have any purchasing group. Now we can enter some purchasing group here, new value, say whichever, let us say this one. And then we can test this. It will happen. This updation will happen. So that is, we have just tested. Now, if we perform mass change, What is this button? Now we save it. So these are updated and we save it. So we'll get a log. So previously, so it has been done successfully. So that is this transaction for mass change. If you open the material now, you will see that the purchasing group is now available. Here is the purchasing group. I think it is in MRP. Let me see. It should be in purchasing. It should be in
MRP one
purchasing.
is there, right? In MRP one, purchasing group is there.
Ha. So that is what, yeah. So this is the one that got updated. But why MRP one has purchasing group?
No, it will be there in purchasing view also, but you didn't enter org level, I think. That's where.
Yeah, in purchasing, it is
no.
also there. Yeah, I missed it. Anyway, so that is the mass change function. You are aware of these functions. So can you please now create another help material and do these transactions quickly in the system?
Do we need to create an raw material?
Anyway, I mean, we have created a finished good. You can create a raw material, but for raw material, only MRP views will be there. Work scheduling will not be there. Work scheduling view is for production order or process order, right? So
Yes.
for purchase and also raw materials we don't sell. So sales views will not be there as well. So whenever you are creating a raw material, these views will not appear to be created. MRPs and basic data 1 to classification, this we can create. So please create one raw material and another help. I mean, you can just create one help, I mean, some people can create a help material, I mean, standard. Or even you can copy the standard HALB and create a new material type like ZALB and a Z raw material like ZOH, and then create with these new material types. I mean, whatever I did now. And just do these transactions and see everything is happening. So everyone comfortable with this, na? Let's take 10-15 minutes to create and make this mass stage function MM50. Then what else? These two we have done. And also you can change the material type. Transaction is MMAM.
So what is the plant? 1710.
I always work with 1710, please, because everything is there. everything 1710. Plant 171A is the storage location, and 1710 is the sales organization and purchase organization, same. Every time it is 1710.
Storage
warehouse
location is
you can
also
define-
1710.
That is what?
Storage location.
Storage location 171A you can take, A or B. That is for, I think A is better because B is assigned to warehouse management. So it will go to that transfer order, transfer requirement thing when we do the transactions later on. 171A you use for storage location.
Sir, what are the views we need to select? Basic data 1, 2.
Are you sharing your screen or?
No.
I mean, you are creating raw material or what?
Yeah, I'm creating raw material.
So you
Can I
select
share?
basic data
Yeah.
1, 2 classification.
Yeah.
And then purchasing and purchase order text, and then MRP 4 views and
Okay.
4 MRP views,
Yeah.
and storage 1, storage 2. Ensure that the profit center you have in, and then accounting 1 and 2. So in the storage 1 and storage 2, ensure that there is a profit center entered, because without profit center, posting will not happen later on.
So what is the profit center we need to select then? Just create.
Can you share your screen? I mean, you have to, this material 1710 plant is assigned to company code. Let me see which company code. Just give me some time.
I think
Just-
YBPH.
Just 1 second. Material, this plant assigned to which company code we have to check? 1710. So just 1 second. One 1710 is the company code, and against that company code, you have to check the controlling area, because profit center is maintained at controlling area level. So for 1710, let me see what is the controlling area. I think it is A000.
Correct.
So for A000, you have to select the first do one thing in your screen. You just set the controlling area, OKKS transaction, and default controlling area you set as A000.
In which T code?
OKKS. It is normally set as A000, but let us check
Okay.
also. It will default.
But I didn't get anything here.
So once you do that, you will be now able to go to the drop down of that profit center, and it will show you all profit center under this controlling area A000. You
Can I
can
share
choose
my
any-
screen?
No, just 1 second. I'm on just 1 second.
I am not able to select MRP controller actually.
MRP controller is there in the drop down.
No, it is telling some internal table error.
Oh,
Internal
that
error.
is a search help type of. Please share. I mean, one by one. Please share the profit center first. Let us put,
Yeah.
and then this drop
Okay.
down I am fixing.
Yeah, I shared my screen.
Hmm.
Here it is asking
And
the
you
profit
just
center.
go to the drop down.
If we go to the drop down here.
Yeah, just continue. Yeah,
Yeah,
start search.
if I start search, I'm getting the internal error table.
That is what. So you close this box. Close the boxes, all the boxes.
Okay.
Just go to more. This screen is this GUI is a little bit different. Go to more. Then there is settings. Settings, GUI settings. Last one.
Okay.
Options.
In settings.
Yeah, options.
Options. But that is there in
Team or PP settings.
accessibility and script. No, that is not there. Not there. Interactive design, interaction design. Just click on that one. Visualization 1.
Visualization, it is already there.
Visualization 2. Show enhanced search on demand using shortcut. I think you have to change it to second one. Just
Okay.
apply. I am not sure about this GUI, but I can. Yeah, let me see.
Yeah,
No,
screen is
not yet. Not here. I'll show my screen where it is. It is in settings only. I'll share my screen once.
There is more option, and the more option we have SAP GUI setting and actions.
But there is just there only, but otherwise there is so here my GUI is old. Actually, it is there in settings.
Deepak, can you share your screen?
Oh, just 1 second. Just 1 second. There is a not here. There is a setting. Okay, I'm fixing this. For the time being, you select 1010 profit center. Let's create this material and come out, then we'll see.
1010 does not exist.
Share your screen.
Yeah.
Drop down, then just 1 second. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. use YB110.
YB?
YB110.
Yeah, it's taken.
Just 1 second. Just close this box.
Good.
It is saved. Just open the material. What was the material number? Yeah. Just go to accounting 1 and 2.
Yeah. Costing is required, right?
Costing is required. Yeah. We'll also have the cost estimate run for this material later. So select accounting 1.
Yeah.
Next screen, yeah. Go to accounting 1.
Yes.
Profit center, you change to that YB, yeah. Enter.
Yeah. Yes.
Then just valuation class is C001. You change it to 7920 if it is available.
I didn't recalculate. Yeah.
Okay. And one more thing, ML active is already indicated, so you will have no problem. So accounting 2.
Valuation class 792 is not allowed for material type raw material.
Okay. Okay. So it will be signed 3000.
3000. Okay.
Or 310 like that.
Yeah, 3000 is correct.
So you just save this. So it's fine. So all views you have created, na?
I think material views I didn't start. Yes.
So
yeah, it's created. Raw material was created.
And finished good is created, and one help material is also created.
Double 256.
Created all material. So now you can just show. I mean, anyone this whatever view you have not created, can you extend those views to in MM50 and create and also do a mask change? You can select this material, MM17. Once you can execute this transaction. Yeah, so let us do one thing. So we have created the material. Now, one classification tab was there. So there is one exercise here, or as lab, you can say.
Yeah, material
Lab
extended.
activity, classify material master records. So can we do that? We have to just create a characteristic. So shall I do it in the system? You know, na, characteristic CT04, then class CL02, then assign to the material master. So classification of material master, why it is required? And what are the different class types that we can assign to the material master?
Material class, batch class.
Material class is 001 and batch class is 023 or 022, right? Plant dependent is 023. So, and there are other classes also, class type 300, right? And 200. If I go to this material master and go to the classification view, It is it is 001, but these are the classes that I can assign. 200, 300. Have you worked with this new generation VC 399 is also there. That is for variant configuration modeling. 200 and 300 are for VC. Because we'll be creating BOM and BOM item, there is a item category class K in BOM. So that is related to VC. I'm noting it down as a separate procedure that we will create a class item in a BOM, assign it, and do a small VC cycle tomorrow and see how the what happens actually. We'll be going to BOM and then we'll discuss these things. So currently we can have material class and batch management indicator. We have not entered in the material master. I think so. If the material is to be batch managed, then we have to indicate that checkbox. Maybe in purchasing or MRP in work scheduling or sales anywhere. One we have to select that this material will be subject to batch management, and we have to enter a batch class. So batches created for this material will be assigned the values of the characteristics which we maintain in that class. So right now we can assign. So you see that material master is an object where we can assign multiple types of classes, class type 001, 002, 3. So there is a configuration in classification system. I'm just showing you how this is possible. So classification system is under cross application component. If you go to the class, you will find maintain object types and class types. So our object type for material is Mara. And you can see all the class types which are available. These you are seeing in the drop down. 023 is not there, but if you go to MCH1 or MCHA, this is the batch. So here you will find that class type 023 is there. If the material is batch managed, automatically this will be assigned. Class in master record, and these settings you know, multiple classification, multiple objects allowed for batch. That is why you can assign class type 023 to the batch. And if you go to the material master also, I mean here sorry, multiple classification is active, multiple objects allowed. Just one second. Object type, let us go to the object type for Mara. So here also you will find that multiple objects allowed. And for each class type, these settings are there that multiple classification is active. That means you can enter number of classes. That means 001 you can combine with 023. So if you are to get such requirements, say for example, I'm giving you an example. If you look at the equipment class type, which is 002, there this multiple classification is active, but multiple objects are not allowed. For 002 equipment class, you will find multiple classification is active. Just 1 second. Means you can add a number of classes. Multiple objects allowed, that setting is there in for the object type settings. So that means in material master is such a thing where we can assign a class type 001 or 023 or 300 simultaneously, or within 001 multiple classes you can create for this class type and assign to the material master. These things are possible. So anyway, so if we want to create a classification view, then we can create a characteristic for the material. Let us say C001, CT01 is the transaction. Say data type you can enter a decimal place, you can enter so you have to, for numeric characteristic, number of characters, unit decimal places, unit of measure, these things you have to give. And for characteristics, if you want, you can enter multiple values. I mean, if you think that this length has multiple values which you can assign simultaneously, then this multiple value allowed indicator has to be set. Otherwise, by default, it is a single value. Interval values allowed means you can put a value range. You can put a value range in while assigning the values. When you assign the values, first step is here we are creating the characteristic. Negative value allowed also you can do. If you select entry required, this characteristic value must be maintained. There is a thing called object dependency in variant configuration. This I'll discuss. I'll create some characteristics. So here you can influence the value of the characteristics by just entering some syntax. I mean, the value of one characteristic will be visible or not visible or maintainable, or it will get auto-populated based on certain syntaxes we create in object dependencies. So that characteristic or the characteristic value can have an object dependency, like value of one characteristic will depend on the value of another characteristic. So this type of things are possible with characteristic. And next is there is one additional data tab where the value of the character, this is frequently used in batch classes, right? Have anyone used this one? Batch determination. Hello?
Batch determination in the delivery or in the sale or
Anywhere
sale
when
side?
you do a batch determination configuration, maybe in production order confirmation or at the time of delivery, or when we are doing GR against a purchase order, suppose the material is batch managed and our value, I mean GR date, say last GR date, these things need to get populated from the entry screen, whatever we are entering. That means when the batch is created in background, if the batch has a class 023 for this material, when the batch is created, this classification data is automatically updated from here. So here you put a reference to the table. Table is for batch, it is MCH1 and MCH8. And for field name, you have to put, in MCH1, you will have those fields which you want to get populated automatically during the transaction from this MCH1 table. So there you will find that there are many such fields: last year date or batch number, shelf life, expiration date, batch status, last year date, all these things. So if you maintain like this, what will happen when this characteristic value, this will get updated during our, say we are doing a goods receipt for this material against a production order and a batch is created. So that goods receipt date, that gets automatically populated for this characteristic in the batch master. Have you done this?
Yes, Deepak.
Yeah, you have done. So this is the reference characteristics. So for the time being, let us remove this. And we have created this characteristic. Now next step is to create the class. Our class type for assignment to material master is 001. If it is a batch class, we will put 023. So it is, say, training. We'll just go to the characteristic and put that characteristic here and save the class. So first we create the characteristic, then the class, and final thing is that we assign this class to our material master. So there are two ways we can do that. One is if there are multiple materials where we want to assign this class, this transaction CL24N will help. But in MM02, I'll go, if I had created the classification view, then I can just select the classification and the class that I have just now created will appear here. Training class, say. And these characteristics, we are not going to maintain the values of the characteristic here in the material master. It can be assigned a value automatically, as I have said, if it is a batch class, if this is a batch production, or otherwise we can do that. We can assign some values. Both will see. One is this batch determination and batch production, that we'll see, and another is for class type 300. When we do for variant configuration, there we'll assign some values, say color, length, engine type, talking about automobile. So we can assign different values to some configurable materials. This is basically a placeholder. Based on the values we maintain for a product which can have a large number of variants, say one product car can have multiple values, engine types, exhaust, many other characters. Each one is a characteristic. And depending on the values that the customer wants, that particular material will be selected, that variant will be selected. Basically, we create a material which is a configurable material. The material type is KMAT. And then we assign our real material to this configurable material by creating a BOM link. We maintain a super BOM and super routing and assign object dependencies, create a configuration profile, and we can test it in a sales order. When that material is entered, system will ask for the values, and based on the values that we provide, the placeholder or the configurable material will be replaced with the actual material. each actual material will have values for these characteristics. I mean, different variants like red, color, 15cc engine, like that. We'll do one such cycle later on, along with 300 class and 200 class as bomb item. So this is the classification part. There is a classify material master record. You just please do this test for the material which you have already done. You just follow these steps. Please do these steps and do one exercise. This one. Then we'll move to next some other topic. We are giving 5-10 minutes time. Let us complete this exercise. You all have these documents, access to these documents, right?
Deepak, can you please
Yes,
share
Deepak.
this link?
Link.
Yeah.
But you have these documents, na?
Yeah.
You have,
Not able to find it. Okay.
Okay. I'll just share the link.
Deepak, but how can we resolve that the table, the search one, why I'm unable to search, right? Drop down.
That one, na? Just
That one.
that GUI, I am not very because in my case it is coming. Actually, it was coming from settings only. There is one one setting is there. So just give me some time. I'll take 5 minutes break and find
Yeah,
this
sure.
Let us
Okay,
first
thank
complete
you.
this exercise first. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Then we'll do. This link you wanted, na? But you have this material, na? Second one. I don't know whether this link I'm
The link
sharing.
was creating material master data, right? That one.
The next one, it is just 1 second. Let me go back. It is a lab activity for classify material master records.
Classified. Okay.
Okay, just do it. If 5-10 minutes it will take. Create a characteristic, create a class, assign this class to the material master record. So we are done with the material master creation and changes. So any other thing regarding material master you want to, because there are numerous fields production related in MRP 1 to 4 and work scheduling that will maintain and change when we run the process and see the effects. So basically now we have created the material masters and we'll move over to the bill of material. You are able to see the PPT, right? This slide. Functions and features of bill of materials in detail. So this is the disclaimer. Please go through. This I must present. And the agenda is describing the structure of bomb, managing the validity of bomb, managing bomb, changing bomb with ECM, analyzing bomb and configuring bombs. So if we open a bomb, that will be better in the system. Let us consider the bill of material for this this finished good. So when we create the bomb, we for a material bomb, we create it for a material and we enter a plant and a bomb usage. The bomb usage decides which application area it will be used in. I mean, we can have usage for production, we can have for costing, we can have order bomb, sales bomb, or we can have a universal bomb. We can have a bomb for plant maintenance also. So depending on the usage, the certain indicators for a bomb will be selected and it will be available for usage. And also the plant that we entering, that means this is specific to this plant, this bomb. If we don't enter a plant, then it will be created as a group bomb, and later and that means it is applicable to any plant and we can assign it to any plant. A bomb is identified by bomb number, because when you see the, you know the bomb tables, right? If you want to see the link between a bomb and a material, that is linked to a bomb number. So there are basically three important tables. One is the MAST table, which gives you the link to the material to the bomb. So for this material, this is my bomb number that identify unique identification of the bomb, which is basically the combination of this material, plant, usage and alternative. So this bomb number, and there is a this is the link. I mean, if I want to see whatever bombs are available for which materials, then we go to this link table first. Then the bomb has two parts. The structure is basically, we have two parts. One is the bomb header and the other is the bomb item data. If we click on header, there are few tabs. One, first is the base unit. That means to produce this 100 pieces of material, how many components or how many raw materials or other packaging materials or other materials will be required. That we maintain as individual items in the bomb item overview screen, which each item has a detailed screen also with many control indicators. So in the header, the important things are the base unit, that is the quantity of the header that is required to be produced. That means if I create a production order of 1000 pieces, so for every 100 base unit, my component quantity is mentioned in the item. That is, so these three components, one is an SFG, 100 quantity. So 100 into 100. So for 1000, it will be 1000 for the production order component screen when the bomb is exploded. The other important parameter here is the bomb status, whether it is an active status or inactive. Active status means here you can configure that this bomb will be exploded in MRP in planned order. I mean, this is the active status. It has a costing relevancy. It will be relevant for work scheduling. That means it will be exploded in the production order. What is this call is? It is used in collective. It is used in collective order or direct production. Then it can be a sales order bomb, which will be used in sales order. So this status actually determines whether the bomb can be used. So there are other statuses like inactive. So none of the functions, if we set the status as inactive, then this bomb will not be, it is not usable in any of the functionalities. History requirement of bomb will come. If that is the requirement, then we'll have to do, create, change, or display bomb using the engineering change management by creating a change master record. So these are the important fields. One is the base quantity and one is the bomb status. Since we have not displayed the bomb using any change number, so this change number field is blank. A change number allows us to do a validity to the bomb, date validity. And it also helps us to track the changes. What was the old value of any change that we have made and what is the new value? An object management record that is also created. We have to set the we have to set those, when we create that change number, then this which objects are applicable, those things we have to mention in the object types allowed. And there are other indicators also in the change master record. When we create that change master record with that change, the valid from date and valid to date are copied from the change master record. We can use many change master records to change a bomb, and when we do that against that particular change master record, that bomb which is applicable will show up. If we don't enter any change master record, everything will show up. Suppose we have three items which we create a bomb with a change master record, say C1. After that, we change the bomb with another master record C2, where we have two items. So that will show up accordingly when we enter a change master record at the initial screen of bomb create or change, or even the quantity or anything. The other data is the size, dimension. These things are required for the purpose of, say, if it is say motor or any parts, production parts, then these dimensions are important. If it is to be integrated with CAD, then we have to indicate this. This can be linked through DMS or content server, or otherwise we can have an interface which can link this CAD drawing to this material, header material. We can assign a document or drawing to this material by creating a document in the document management system and linking it there. It can be on the front end of our PC, or it can be linked to the content server. So these are the header things, as you can see. So basically a bomb which is identified in MAST table, we have seen that it is identified by the bomb number. Same thing, this data in STKO table, this bomb header data are populated. Now, if I go to the structure of the bomb, back to this, we have this item overview screen where we maintain the individual items which make up this header material. Here we can see that this material, finished good, is made up of a semi-finished good. Whenever, that means it also has its own bomb. So that is indicated by this assembly indicator. And then there is a raw material. At least we have to maintain the item category and the quantity for each material when we are assigning it. Now, in the component, there are many controlling factors. If I go to the item detail, in the basic data, we can see that in the quantity data, this is the quantity. There is a operation scrap percentage, which we can maintain here in bomb item for that item only. there is a component scrap percentage also that we can maintain. Basically, there are three types of scraps which can be planned. One is assembly scrap, and component scrap also we can maintain in the material master. Then it will be applicable to all the bombs of that material. This assembly scrap will increase the assembly quantity, as well as it will increase the component quantities in the production order by that percentage. And if it is maintained in the material master, this component scrap, then it will be applicable to all bombs of that header. But if we maintain it here, it will have the preference. So first system will take this percentage and calculate the increase in component quantity from here. The operation scrap percentage is the third one that can be maintained here, that reduces the operation quantity, and that must be accompanied by this net ID indicator. Whenever you are mentioning an operation scrap, you have to indicate this net ID checkbox. And there is another indicator, that is the fixed quantity. That means it will be always fixed. This 100 quantity will always be fixed, irrespective of these variations of scrap and other things. It will be a fixed quantity. I mean, suppose in that case, if we indicate this fixed quantity, so for 100 quantity, we require this 100 piece of raw material. If our production order quantity is 1000, our finished good quantity will be 1000, right? So what will be the quantity if we fix it? This 100 quantity will be fixed, so it will not change. It will not change to 1000, right? There is another portion in the general data. If it is a co-product, then our co-product treatment, that means along with the main component, which is a leading co-product. Suppose it is there in pharma or chemical mostly. When we do a production, some useful product is also created during production, and that is termed as a co-product, which is subject to costing as well as goods movement also. Another product is there, which is basically a wastage, that is a byproduct. I mean, if you want to treat a co-product in a production order system, then first thing in the material master, there is a co-product indicator that you must select. Secondly, the BOM item quantity has to be entered as a negative quantity. And thirdly, this co-product indicator has to be selected. And then you will do an apportionment structure and create a cost estimate run, so that your total cost is divided between your leading co-product and this co-product. I mean, the main product and the co-product. We'll have a cycle for this. Then what is this recursion indicator? Anyone knows?
If the same material is allocated in item also, then we will make it as recursive BOM, right?
That means if FG129 has a component FG129 also, that means to make FG129 with the same component in a small quantity, then this is recursion. And in that case, this recursive BOM indicator has to be selected. Recursion must be allowed. And when we do that, this recursive indicator gets selected. Apart from that, there is one alternative item group, this field. What is an alternative item?
It gives the usage probability, whether it should be used in BOM or not. Like
suppose
percentage.
we have two items where we have a strategy. There are two strategies. One is no check and another is 100% check, and we maintain a usage probability against each strategy. Now, depending on our stock situation and our strategy, several things can happen during MRP run as well as when the bomb gets exploded in the production order and also in the reservation. So what will happen is that based on the usage probability maintained, if the stock is there, it will be divided according to the percentage. And if this is 100% check, if the strategy is like that, so 100% of one material will be allocated if the stock permits, and the other quantity will be 0. We'll have a cycle on this. The alternative group, and there is another one, which is the discontinuation data. So you know about this discontinuation data? In the material master MRP 4 view, there are provision of entering a discontinuation indicator. If it is a discontinued part, means if one material component of a bomb is to be discontinued after a certain time, which is an effective out date, which we maintain in the material master MRP 4 view. These are the three things. One is, suppose this material, suppose this is a component. So this component is to be replaced with a follow-up component after a certain date, which is the effective out date, provided the stock of this original component is exhausted. So after this date, in the planning run, you will see there is a segment, for effective out date. And after that, the original component gets replaced with the new component. But for that, there you have to maintain the discontinuation indicator. There can be two types of discontinuation. One is simple discontinuation, where the discontinuation indicator is 1. That means a certain group of components or a single component will be replaced with a new component after the first component stock is exhausted and after the effective out date. And there is a second one, which is the dependent parallel discontinuation. That means the discontinuation will happen based on the dependency of the original component. We will set up this also and do a cycle, how it is behaving. So that is the setting in the material master, that discontinuation indicator, follow effective out date and the follow-up material. And here in the follow-up material and the material which we have to maintain both the materials, and the discontinuation data, we have to maintain the discontinuation group and the follow-up group. That should have the same group number. So this is basically a discontinuation control, and this is the alternative group control. On the right side, we have some MRP control data. In the bomb, if it is a phantom item, that means if it is not to be, suppose this SFG is a phantom item. Then first thing in the material master, we have to do a planning strategy like phantom assembly planning, that is 59. And here, item category, I think it will be 50, and special procurement key will be there. So if it is in that case, it will be treated as a phantom item. So here that phantom item indicator will be there, number 1. Secondly, this SFG will not be produced in that case. It will directly explode the lower level raw materials, and this raw material procurement will happen. SFG will then be treated as a logical grouping of the materials. So that phantom item indicator will come then. What is explosion type? You have worked with, suppose, special procurement key, like say direct production, or maybe some phantom assembly planning. Here you can put, and that means when you are maintaining it in the material master for the header, it is applicable to all the items which will be exploded. And suppose we have set it up for a phantom assembly planning, so it will always be a phantom assembly. But if we want to switch off this in particular bombs where this will not be treated as a phantom assembly here in this case, then we can switch off from here, and we can configure this, what all are the settings we can switch off, and that we have to assign in the explosion type field. Another special procurement key we can assign at the bomb item level also. So for this SFG, it is to be produced from alternative plant. So we can assign a special procurement key here instead of in the material master of this material. So it will be applicable to this bomb only. So when you see that there is an error in the system is looking for a plant which is not configured in the special procurement type configuration, and you are still having this error, but it is not there in the material master, this special procurement key. You have to go to the bomb and all the bombs, of this header, and find out in which item or SFG it is assigned. That is why the error is coming, and then you have to go and reconfigure the special procurement key or remove it from here. So there are many things which are maintained both at material master level, then it gets applicable to all the bombs, and there are many things which are applicable for this bomb item only, which we must maintain here. The other tab is for the item status control. So when we have an item status indicator, so basically it is coming from the item category. So item category will control whether there is a costing relevancy, whether it is production relevant or plant maintenance relevant or a design bomb. And another setting is the material provision indicator. It is used in subcontracting. So in what happens is that when we procure the finished good from the vendor, we supply the raw materials to the vendor in a straightforward, simple subcontracting, which is known as a subcontracting type 1. So in that case, our production order will have a subcontracting key for external procurement control key, say PP02, and we select the subcontracting indicator, so that a subcon PR is created, converted to subcon PO, and we have the material. So when we do that GR 541, we have to transfer to SC stock, and then it is issued to the vendor to 543-101. 101 FG is returned, 543, it gets issued to the vendor. So that is the standard process. We have seen this, actually this MPS indicator controls many things, mainly related to maintenance or subcontracted maintenance or repair of parts. So, we can have K and L, that is material provided by customer. If we maintain it here, then it goes to the vendor from my stock. Now, if it is by the vendor, then this material has to be supplied by the vendor. The raw material is also he is supplying. So it is not going from my stock. There are two other indicators like rework material and rework material from subcontractor. That means we give a material to the vendor. After rework, he returns the same material. That means the material code is not changing. So when you do the GR, you get back the same material. So how to identify the difference, that we treat with a serial number management. And another situation is that this is frequently used, like we are doing a plate cutting, which we cannot do in our factory. Send it to the vendor for subcontracting external agency, and they will return you the plate after cutting the slots, and it will have the same material number. Another one is a rework material from subcontractor, where we will get the return material with a new material number in the stock. So these are the possibilities. This is basically controlled by configuration table T417 material provision indicator, and it is mostly used in AD. I mean, SAP's AD solution, aerospace defense. So these are the different fields which are important. Maintaining and not maintaining these fields, we will create BOM, maintain and check these fields when we run the process and see the effect of these things. So what are the different item categories that are available in BOM? We know about L and N. L means stock item, that is maintained in stock normally. So when it a production a planned order is created, a dependent requirement is created, which is converted to a dependent reservation when we create the production order. That means when the order is released for stock item, a reservation is created and it is to be issued from the stock. The next item that is there is a non-stock item. Non-stock items are those which are having material code, but they are not kept in stock normally. If we put an item category as N, then this will not be, I mean, a reservation will not be created, because normally we do not keep it in stock. So what happens is that there will be an external procurement that will get triggered, and a purchase requisition will be created for procuring this item when we release a production order. Apart from that, there are other type of items which are also available, item category, like say class item. This will deal with in variant configuration. The class type is 200, where you have to maintain characteristic class, object dependency, configuration profile, and item category K will have a resultant item category L, which must be L. These will set up and do. These are special cases of BOM. Then we have a variable size item. So the advantage is that here one item can have multiple sizes. Here we are maintaining some 100 pieces like that, but this can be a cut piece for this material, which will be used in this particular BOM. So in that case, without having to create another material code, we can enter a formula and we can calculate the dimension, and the quantity will be recalculated based on the formula. So using the same material code, we can use different cut pieces for the raw material as per requirement. So this formula we can be of a volume or a surface area or certain percentage of length or any other dimension. Thing is that the base unit of measure and all other units from which the formula, I mean, is calculating the quantity, that must be maintained in material master. If it is not maintained as a base unit of measure, then it must be maintained, and the conversion factor must be maintained in the alternate unit of measure data of the material master. These are the basic things that are about a BOM. So just I'm taking 5 minutes time. I'll rejoin and give me 5 minutes. We'll just go through this PPT and what else is there, and also discuss the work center part, and we'll go to the configurations of the bomb, what configurations we need, and then we'll run the cycles. Let us go to the system once more, and we'll discuss the configurations that we do for the bomb. Normally we don't do much, but what configurations are there which you can do? Let us go there. So basically, it has mainly the control data, general data, and item data, and how the alternative determination takes place in bomb. In the control data, you use most important is the modification parameters. So what are the things that are maintained here? One is engineering change management is active. If we don't do this checkbox, then this ECM or the change number management with bomb create change display, this cannot happen. So we must be having the bomb validity maintenance and EC management active. Other important parameters are the default parameters. Unit of measure is coming as default as piece, and there is one there is another entry for the can we control the item numbers here? No. What is this loaded? We don't use this. What is this loaded control?
I think default it will give previous date, like date what we have given, past validity date.
That means if we create a bomb with today's date validity, so if we want to say created a back previous date, so it should allow if we check this box. You'll have to check this one. We don't do any settings here except for this EC management active. What are additional control data? Default value are the this size unit. When we use the variable size items, this is the default that is coming for variable size, but that we have to remove, otherwise it will give error. Always it will take this size which may not be there in the material master, and variable size item unit, that is piece, that we can remove, or but this size unit we have to remove. I mean, this is the unit which comes as default when you suppose create a area, a small cut having a length and width dimension. So that dimension will come as mm always, but it may not be the base unit of measure in the material master. So let us remove this one. The base quantity by default is coming as 1 if you don't maintain anything. And bomb status is active by default, which you can change in the header. Save this. Other settings are in general data. We have already discussed about the BOM usage, and against this usage, we can have these controls. One is mandatory, one is required entry, optional entry, and no entry. That means whether a material master record should must be entered for a BOM usage, and it can be used or not. That means for production, our usage is 1 and it is a required entry. I mean, it must be, the material must be entered, material code must be present for this usage. And it is relevant for production. When we go to the item data, when we go to the item statuses, we have seen that checkboxes, what relevancies are there. So for BOM usage 1, our costing relevancy is having an optional entry. If I go to the BOM, what happened? Now it is showing error. Right? Now we have done some configuration and it is showing error. What changes I have made? We have not made any changes here. Only change I have made here. This is not going to affect the settings. Okay, that default I have to maintain, otherwise it will not work. But that instead of I'll make it piece. We can override that. Let me see. Okay. So that default cannot be left blank. We have to maintain something. So although it is an unit of variable size, so basically in that case we have to do it, maintain it in the material master as an alternative unit. Let us say I have a BOM. Let us enter a variable size unit here. Suppose I have a raw material here with my item category as variable size. R. I enter 1 piece of 10 piece of this material. It takes me here. So I enter a size of 10 length and 10 width, and I use a formula for this perimeter of a rectangular cut. So the formula will get executed. So 2 into 10 plus 2 into 10, this will be the size here according to this formula. Now, if the same raw material is used and we need a cut of say some other dimension, we can use different formula for that. So that means maintaining the same material component, we can have different quantities as required without having to change the quantity. If I save the BOM and if I open the BOM again, in the detail screen, I will see no, not in this material I have changed. In which material BOM I have changed? Maybe in the SFG. No. I can find out via CS15. Our raw material was, this is the BOM where use list, where I can find out where this material is used. SG22. No, I think it was not saved. Here it is used, but not as variable item. No, not as variable item. Anyway, we'll do again. So basically, we were looking at configurations. So what else is there?
So Deepak, just one question. So what is the difference from ECC to S/4HANA? Means everything is same in
As far
BOM
as
or-
BOM is concerned, there is no new features except for one
then
thing.
so then means, I don't know means others opinion, but I think we are well experienced. Okay, we know everything neutral master, BOM and routing. So I think we should focus what is the difference from ECC to S/4HANA,
There
and
is
we
no
should target
difference.
that part. Like
That is
MRP,
my question from
MRP
the
live,
beginning.
advanced planning. So that I think that area we should focus more.
So in that case,
Others
this
can.
so in that case, since there is no difference between S/4HANA and ECC as of now in the BOM and routing and work center, except for that advanced planning tab, which will take us to the advanced planning and PPDS planning, there is no difference. And there is only a few planning strategy and MRP area planning that we can do. Otherwise, and this production version, which is mandatory. So if everybody is comfortable with that,
what other people think, so they can.
So that they have to tell. If that be so, ask the material provider to entirely change the material according to only the things that are new. And that will include topics like DDMRP and those Fiori apps which I run.
Correct.
And like manage material shortage, everything is there. It is MD04 only it is calling, but it has a visualization and enable you to take action, all the Fiori apps. And then can have that, advanced planning, DDMRP, then that special procurement type 45 for MRP area planning from plant to MRP area. These are the things. So let others say, and then
Yeah,
if we
correct.
agree, then we'll
Take
skip
the
all
others'
these,
opinion as well. Yes.
and we'll skip everything, because all these materials which have been given, there are not much changes in S4HANA. I'll share the simplification list. You can also go through. If everybody is conversant with this, people can run this alternative item group, discontinuation, right? So let
Correct.
us.
So you know, we know this everything. Okay, we are already using in ACC. So what others think? So let's take the others' opinion.
Just let others tell, and then accordingly from tomorrow we'll do the different things. We'll go to Fiori app straight away.
My opinion is that as per the we have the scenarios, you can say that the course curriculum, I think we have to go accordingly. So we'll cover all the steps. Just like today, we are going through the BOM master data.
Yeah, that is what we are doing. We
Yes,
have
I
small
think we
part
are
work
actually
center and routing.
we have 55 hours course and we'll cover all the things. I think it should be fine. Even not for, it's for all. Mhm. Even we are
Yeah,
using
because
and we
if
are
everybody is
working, but
knowing all these things, then I can just ask them to run through the exercise and anybody can share the screen and show us. So we understand that everybody knows all these things. And in that case, I'll only provide you the documents for the advanced planning and EWM and theory apps. I thought that we'll run through all these steps and processes as much as possible. Like, can anybody just create an alternative item group and create a we have already created this raw material, finished good and SFG to create a bomb, and then create a routing and PV, and then load a demand, create a MRP run, and then with a planning strategy, all these demonstrations. Can anybody, who is saying that you are all conversant, can you please do it? Then I'll understand that these are not required. So just you boss talk to TCS. I think whoever has actually it is not my design, but I have modified it to bring in those S4HANA features in this. So you can tell them that what you want and what you want to get to be excluded, so that we don't waste our time here.
no, actually, the course curriculum is already defined. I think we have to go accordingly.
Yeah, and
Why we need to change right now?
and in between, if you want to whatever I'm thinking of, just first week we'll run through all existing things and refresh like what we know, and even we can ask people who are supposed to be knowing all this to show, run this lab assignments. Let me share my screen. So this bomb part, we have already discussed. One more important thing is you have to allow the material type for the bomb, so that this material type for the header level and item level, that must be allowed, so that we are able to create the bomb. Now, can you please go to this exercise? Let us see. this lab activity. Configure a material bomb, and anyone can share your screen and do this exercise. They are just checking the configurations. That's what they are doing in this exercise. Nothing else. At least I have to mark this as done or whatever. So, will you please do this exercise now on the bomb? Hello? Can anyone please volunteer and share your screen and do this exercise? Yeah, so can anyone share the screen and do this small exercise of this checking the configuration and making small changes and create the bomb?
Yeah, we can do, I think.
So please complete this exercise in 5 minutes, and meanwhile we can create a change number.
Okay.
We can create a change number and see whether the object management record is there.
This is assessment, right? Okay.
This is I think the lab. There is a lab. What is this one? This is a exercise, lab activity. So it is saying set the status application use of a bomb and define default value for a user. Hello.
Yes, Deepak.
So I am a bit confused what I need to do. Are you doing the exercise, or I'll do, or how to proceed about you? Better
Actually,
discuss this
I'm
with TCS
creating.
and revert.
Actually, I'm creating bomb.
Boss, let us do one thing. Create the bomb. First, create a change number. Change management.
Okay. change number is created. If say we need to do this activity, right? Okay. They asked to set
These exercises basically we are not doing anything, only checking the configurations, right?
yeah. But they said to give some default parameters.
Whatever
the
it is here, my problem is that are we following these materials or we are thinking of something else? Let's complete this part only. Then we'll see
Okay.
that what to do from tomorrow.
Okay.
I thought that in the first week I'll run through all the existing things and whatever they have given as much as possible. And
Okay.
if anybody say, for example, tomorrow if we do demand management, I consider that the work centers, you can create work centers as per the exercises. Sir. You can configure formulas. And the costing part, whether the cost is getting calculated properly, you can test that in the work center. You can create a group, a shift and a shift sequence, all these things for the work center. And in the routing, there is one exercise that that is update scheduling data, lot size dependent data in the material master. If those things can be completed by tomorrow, then we'll straight go to demand management and all the planning strategies. So we can assign, you ask them to change these topics. Today you complete, and before tomorrow's class, I should be communicated as to which thing I'll deal with. Shall we only include those 3 things?
Just I'm giving default of parameters.
This is for increment. So you are giving just your user parameter increment of 10, which is standard. You can change
And
it to any
material
value and
category.
just
Defaultly.
Boss, do one more thing. Create a first create a change number CC01.
Yeah, create
CC1, yeah.
created.
You have created, na?
Yeah. Now I I am getting defaultly this. Yes, okay.
That change number you have created
Yeah, created.
and object, which object type you have allowed? That bomb.
Config bomb.
No, just go to that change master record CC2. What object type? You just click on object type.
Object type I have changed on this
Bomb. You
bomb.
have given bomb, na? Okay.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay. Yeah. Fine.
Okay.
Just save it, create another change master record, and there you change it with a new one and enter a different quantity.
Okay. This is created. I should create one more change master, huh?
One change master with change the bomb with that change master, and instead of one maintain a quantity 2, and then you display the bomb with these two
And
change master and show what is coming.
Here
Low
they
date
are
means,
asking to.
yeah, the low date means the lowest system date it will check as the take as the validity date.
Yeah. Here they asked to checkbox that one also. That's where.
So do that.
Date. Okay. Okay, done. To change. Okay. This one. Yeah, I've changed the like. So
Now,
this is
yeah, so the quantities which you are displaying with different change numbers are different, right?
yeah.
If you remove the change number and display the quantities, what will happen? Display the bomb. Without change number, if you display, what will happen?
Then it will remove this.
Let us
This
remove
quantity
the.
will be disappeared. Okay, I'll create one more bomb without change number.
No. This bomb only you just display with a change number. You put a change number here, which you have created. The first one, it is showing as quantity 3.
Yeah, without first one, it is.
First
This is
one,
first one. First one is
3. What was the second one? You
This
change
is
the
first
quantity.
one. Yeah, this is the first one.
Hmm.
But still it is showing changed quantity only.
Why? And
The
if you
second
don't
one.
give any change number, what it will show?
Then it will show both.
And if the change numbers are having an overlapping validity, what will happen?
Yeah. Now that's where we got this issue.
Yeah,
Like we
yeah.
have same validity and then
And that
so
is
it
why
is
it is
showing.
having this issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this exercise is done, right?
Yeah.
Anything else is there in that? Material
That
master
low data
bomb.
also.
Two things remain for a bomb. One is this alternative group and discontinuation.
Low date one now I am creating.
Low date you can create one. Have you indicated that low date indicator?
Yeah, done. That's where
So
it
that
is
is why
giving
it
this
is
low date.
1990. Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So everyone, it is, see, this course is meant for everyone, right? So everyone are familiar with this. Can you please raise your hand, or if anybody has any problem or anything that you need to know, please raise your hand. I mean, I may not be that everybody is conversant with everything, even in ECC. I mean, in BOM, we don't have anything. Like I was discussing, I mean, somebody told me that they know everything about this. Let's go straight to S4HANA. But what about this class type 200 and 300? Can anybody show the class item? So I think only one raised hand was there. Can you still tell me what issue or if you have any difficulty, or everybody can do all these things?
Deepak, I think you must go according to the training schedule as Tarun mentioned, because everyone is not well versed with everything. I mean,
Yeah, that is, yes, that is the structured way. Otherwise,
yeah.
see, what I can do, we can quickly go through this schedule, whichever is there in the standard. I'm trying to cover as much as possible
Yeah.
in the first week so that we can devote more time on the new things next week,
Yeah.
on the EWM, PPDS, these things. So we have BOM and material master, and the next topic which we will complete tomorrow is routing and work center and production version. So anybody has any issues so far, can you raise your hand, or need any assistance? Please speak out.
So Deepak, I think it's okay.
Okay. So any concern, I am noting down a few things in my Excel which will run the processes. Like this VC part, class type 200, that we'll try to cover tomorrow. Along with routing and work center. Ajay, tell me frankly, have you worked with 10, 40 and 20, 50, 52, 73, 74, 81? These planning strategies?
There's one few of just we work on that.
Suppose there are 10 persons, the group, each one I allocate one planning strategy to do an end-to-end cycle. Can you just run those things? I mean, and I mean, that is what. I mean, the configurations, transfer of requirement, and availability check.
Right, that we will do in the exercise part, or just first you just explain that things. We will do an exercise.
Just let me share my screen, what we have done and what are the exercises look like, and the materials. This one you have done now. So this is complete, right? This part. And so apply lead time scheduling. This is the routing part. Configure bill of material, classify material, create material master record. These things we have already done. So create work center, update scheduling, alternative parallel sequence, production version, capacity creation, then PRT, reference operation set, display bomb structure, make bill of material changes, that we have done, right? Manage bomb validity. I'll run through each of them myself tomorrow.
Okay.
Schedule time elements, scrap in production, use ECM. Lot of exercises are there. People, I mean, I think we should do these things. Bomb reporting, up to this. I don't know whether we'll be able to cover all these exercises by tomorrow. And regarding the materials, session PPTs, today we have done bomb. So work center, and routing. Routing is not there. Actually, setting up MRP prerequisite, executing MRP run in S4HANA, these are the new things. New means in S4HANA specific. So let us complete these exercises tomorrow on the master data, right? And briefly go through this work center, whatever is there, just go through work center and routing, and then I'll run all those exercises, and for 1 hour maybe, and then everybody should run these exercises. I mean, may not be everyone is comfortable with everything, may not be. Can you raise your hand once more? I mean, everyone can do these things which we have just seen. The raise hand means everyone can do, right? Mr. Harsh can do. Okay, let us run.
I can do.
Yeah. Please come again.
Yeah, some of the activities I can do, Deepak. Yes.
Yeah. So what about others? I mean, how many of you will be able to do this? We'll see tomorrow. I'll run the steps or the lab exercises. Will be on the system throughout tomorrow, and see what where we are. Then we'll proceed to demand management and MRP. Now, regarding this planning strategy, what I was telling again. So before going to MRP, this planning strategy, configurations, and those things that we'll cover, and then MRP. Okay. So that's we conclude here for today. And our plan is to complete all the exercise related to master data tomorrow.
People, just one question from not is long-term planning is in S4HANA?
LTP is there.
Okay.
You have done LTP, right?
In ECC we did, but for S4HANA
Flexible
I'm just
planning,
asking.
LTP, then you will not invest our time on those. What is the new thing is IBP. But IBP is not itself is a different course, and it is on cloud. I don't know. I myself have done only one part, that is the SOP related part. Inventory, etc. I have not done.
Okay.
So Deepak, regarding long-term planning in ECC, we are running the planning scenario. That is for simulated planning run, and we can see the MRP results before the live MRP. So that is his question. So is it same thing in S4HANA or it is different?
I have not seen any difference. I'll check back again. I'll check back, but I haven't seen
like
anything.
MS31, MS32, MS33, those transactions. So we are creating one planning scenario, and then we are transferring the forecast to that planning scenario, under planning scenario. That is inactive forecast. And when we run the MRP, we are getting the simulated plan orders. That will be used for vendor forecast. So that is we are using in ECC. So what is the difference in S4HANA and ECC? We need to we would like to know this.
We'll discuss this.
Yeah, okay.
It is almost same. I think it is same, but still, I'll check. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to ask your questions in the comment section below, and we will reply to them at the earliest.